yepi Amita pendwa ya vintu ifisume vyoto kula kuivukisha Kana depo chimo Wimbo wa temenu wa katongi Awazunga wajita katongi Nakula kuivukisha kateka Aibuku muna kapona Neseko siove pamenso Yangu ama umebaya Iyaba Iyaba ume Ya iyaba ume Iyaba ume Kateka wa wantu Iyaba ume Twakulila Lelo twakulila Iyaba ume Shika kukonke milimo shove Eti kume mo kulondolo la vale lilo mwingi
Iseko wingi mwakwete Iseko wingi mwakwete Mwaya mwende wino tata wesu
Katushi muchi wakege Wali bomba kale Lomba mwatuja tuleli lake
People have died. The police killing people. Why? In the same government, Magamba, abductions have happened. Magamba, if you're not with them, it's either you're dead or you're in prison. This government, you're going to change, big man. Fish to Arfianya Pakubika office. Fish to Arfianya. Why me? Missing. Achani Rubamwaicho and Dizona. Where is why me? HH, tell us with your government, where is why me? Give us why me. Justice for why me, big man. Wachila mo HH. Wala tupisha bega kutupisha Magamba. Katwale kyo kulanda big man. Oh, you think? Maina watata. Sambe tuwasevana. Magamba. Wanesa tuwapweni. Mujala tetu. Iti ya Zambia. Tuamona mwempwa. Magamba. Tuamona mwempwa. Nama abductions Magamba. Muteko toaleta Wadulete lama Amazala mush No yukateka Wala ipompa tureka No yukateka Apa nomba bane Mufulo pa mufulo Mufulo pa mufulo Wakuvota bane Mufulo pa mufulo Mufulo pa mufulo Wakufuatika Mufulo pa mufulo Mufulo pa mufulo Makufuatika fuatika Mufulo pa mufulo Mufulo
Kwenyu tayakwa fwe. Aikona man. Itayakwa fwe. Nakuliati kwenyu.
Mayona batata bayuthi tiyentwisule amenso batusendela nomba batwipaila na hope yesu endikachagwa lungu watwebela tinali mikwatila plan B nomba tuwalishiba plan B abamumino yakwalesa bantu banga abalafa mukyalo kyesu kya Zambia nibanga abantu abala abducted mukyalo kyesu kya Zambia bambire kuli jeje banda nibanga abantu abala ba prison abena chitotela chilangwa bonze baba prison netunguru shina shimbi muri one government yakwa ejeje abantu naba famweleza aikata nomba baikata kuyetika chakwa lungu atukwatile plan B abakubo byavyo omufulo big man mufulo pa mufulo bilabine batsendela yetika chakwa apa nomba bane mufulo pa mufulo bakuvota bane mufulo pa mufulo bakufuatika mufulo pa mufulo bakufuatika mufulo pa mufulo kwenyu tayakwa fwe mufulo pa mufulo aikona man mufulo pa mufulo itayakwa fwe mufulo pa mufulo nakuliati kwenyu mufulo pa mufulo HH does not mean well for Mother Zambia. Zambia to Asebana, this is not the Mother Zambia that we were left with by our ancestors, our forefathers who fought so hard to liberate us. Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, Nalumino Mundia, Mama Julia Chikamoneka, Simon Mwansaka Pwepwe, they fought so hard to put this country on the map, to put this country where it is today. No man would destroy this country because we believe in unity. One Zambia, one nation, and we shall together we will change, and we are going to change this government. My name is Blaze Zambia.
Good day. Today is Friday. Thank you very much for joining us. Today we are hosting the People's Forum. The People's Forum is a program you call. This is your program. It's not my program. Today we are discussing various issues that I want to indulge you in. I want to invite you to discuss the various issues that are affecting our country, and you can call anytime. Number one, the recent discussion of an independent presidential candidate. You know, it's like the entire political infrastructure. I was not aware that we can have an independent presidential candidate. In fact, if it's a ruling party, they've gone to a large extent to disenfranchise political opponents, the Patriotic Front, and they counted on a plan not to allow the PF to participate. They had no idea that people could stand as presidential candidate until our dear sister from Chiengi, given Katuta Mwelwa, announced a candidature of presidency. That's when the cat then came out of the bag. Clayson Amasaka, chief state, chief communication specialist, naively even posted on his page mocking given Katuta Mwelwa that, look, in Zambia you just have literally mad people. Here she's aspiring for presidency as an independent candidate when it's not provided for in the constitution. Clayson Amasaka had no idea that the amendments done in 2016 actually removed that line that says you have to be sponsored by a political party, in effect allowing independent candidates. Clayson Amasaka later, I think when Sishua criticized him and I criticized him, he recanted his message, deleted it from his page and reposted a fresh one. It has sent shockwave. So we can have independent candidates. How many can we have? It doesn't matter. Whoever can raise the nomination fee is a Zambian, can prove that is a Zambian. by descent or by birth and can raise 100 supporters in each province, they can participate. How many? The constitution doesn't say. Anyone. So even all these efforts to try to bar people doesn't hold water. And also it gives room to candidates like John Sangwa or Dolly Kabanda or others that wish to participate in elections. They don't necessarily have to have a political party. That's a big one we are discussing today, and you can join in. Here is Madam Given Katuta, the Chiengi MP, making the announcement.
A legislator and a Zambian citizen answering the call to save. After months of listening to our people, reflecting and praying, I've made a bold decision, which is necessary for me to do. I'm officially declaring my intention to run for President of the Republic of Zambia in 2026 as an independent candidate. Why am I standing? Zambia stands at a crossroads. The dreams of 2021 have faded. Hope has turned to hardship. Our people are crying for leadership that is not tied to party agendas, but to the people's real needs. I'm standing as an independent because the political party system is broken. It has become a place of betrayal, confusion, and corruption. Zambia needs a fresh, fearless, and people-powered presidency. We have national challenges, and our national challenges we must confront. We cannot pretend anymore. Let us speak plainly. These are the battles our people are facing every day. 1. High cost of living. Food, fuel, and rentals have become unaffordable. 2. Youth unemployment. Our graduates are walking the streets with empty pockets and broken dreams. 3. National debt. We are borrowing to survive and not to build. 4. Kwacha instability. Our currency is collapsing, prices rise as wages stand still. 5. Power shortages. Load shedding is killing businesses and family life. 6. Corruption. Leaders preach integrity but practice theft. 7. Broken public services. Our clinics have no medicine, our schools have no desks, our schools have no proper equipment for our pupils. 7. Broken public services. I'll repeat, because this touches a lot of lives, all of us.
So there you are, her announcement that she wants to stand as president, as an independent, has caused this stir. The chessboard pieces are being moved left, right, and center. Clayson Namasaka, after we demonstrated that Madam Katuta or any independent candidate are in their right, and the constitution as amended in 2016 does allow for independent candidates, called our constitution the most dangerous constitution, and probably justifying why they want amendments to be done. You now need to watch for a weaponized Bill 7, because they are likely going to do two things: either move an amendment to reinsert that clause that used to be there before 2016, that presidential candidate must be sponsored by a political party. If they will not do the constitutional amendments, they might move the other way, amending the constitution through the constitutional court. Remember what they did to the case of Edgar Chagwalungu, and the Incurium case, where they would then bring a petition before the constitutional court and make the constitutional court declare that independent candidates are not allowed. But as at today, as until things change, either a constitutional court judgment or amendment to the constitution, candidates who are independent can apply, and the chessboard and the pieces have fundamentally changed. All you need, according to Article 100 of the Constitution, is that number one, you have to be a citizen. Either you were born in our country or by descent that you are a Zambian. And that you've been resident in our country, you need to prove that for a significant time. And that you're above the age of 35 years. This is positive discrimination because they think that people who should be presidents should be above the age of 35. Remember, the Office of the Auditor General, you need to be above the age of 45 to be an Auditor General. And it has a cap. Below the age of 60, you can't get that job. You have to be either 45 and above. For the presidency, it's only 35. And you have to be a registered voter. That's very cardinal. You have to be a registered voter. And the grade 12 certificate is a minimum qualification that is required of you. And that you have to be fluent in the official language. And sadly, the official language is in English. So you cannot have a candidate who can speak English in Zambia, literally. That's what it means. So you have to be fluent in the official language, and the official language is English. Then you don't have to be bankrupt. You have to pay your taxes, and you have to demonstrate that you're up to date with all appropriate tax. And, you get a certificate, I think, certificate of clearance from the Zambia Revenue Authority. You have to declare your assets and liabilities. Remember, we've always urged President Hakainde Hichilema to declare his assets and liabilities. You then pay the nomination fee, then you raise 100 supporters from each province, and then you are good to go. You can pick your running mate who again meets these provisions. And if you were to win elections, you have to score 50% plus 1. The other matter we are discussing is the president made a startling announcement. He says the economy is far better than it was in 2021. The debt is better than it was in 2021. But is it true? The president, that's why I call him a naked emperor. Because he's naked and he doesn't see it. You can see in his language, in his belief when he's delivering these speeches. And that's why I call him the naked emperor. You know the story of a naked emperor who was naked and was crooked by these advisors and these tailors. He kept on wanting something unique every time, and one day they just told him, they brought nothing and told him, your clothes are transparent. No one can see them. Only the wise can see when you are wearing these clothes. And the emperor was given no clothes, and he was escorted by his entourage in the streets. And everyone was shocked that the president, the emperor, was naked. But remember, the tailor had put a disclaimer that only people that are not wise cannot see your clothes. So everyone pretended to be wise while seeing the full nakedness of the emperor. And it took a child to come and tell the emperor, sir, you are not dressed, your majesty. Why are you naked? I see the president as a naked emperor. Listen to him.
You have heard the target already, 3 million tons. When we set this target, a lot of our political competitors say, Wofi, Wobera, Wenye, Boza, Kubea. This year we're tinkering on 1 million tons, knocking on the door. Knocking on the door. Psychological mark, as the minister said. It doesn't come by chance. It's the things we're discussing that we've had to do. Finish, Ambassador. It's the things that we've had to do, we're doing to get to 3 million tons, break the psychological mark, even our detractors, and they're there. Few as they may be, but they make a lot of noise. As the minister says, how can you talk of a failed state? You were running the country. You sunk us into debt. You failed to restructure the debt. You had no credibility. The economy was declining at minus 2.8%. Your friends come and clean up the mess you created. Instead of saying thank you, you're saying, no, Zambia is now a failed state. Are you talking to kids or you're talking to who? Honestly speaking. On average, in the last 4 years, this economy has grown at 5.3% per annum, on average, even with the drought, from minus 2.8% to an average of 5.3%. By any standard, this is a positive move. I don't want to go into other economic factors, measures. Clear. Inflation coming down, exchange rate stability, foreign reserves increasing.
Now, there is a fear that we are heading towards a failed state. And the president has been annoyed. He says, you shouldn't even be saying that. You should be thanking me. That's what the president is saying. He says he has restructured the debt. Well, he says he has restructured 93% according to his speech to Parliament and according to the minister's speech, the Minister of Finance. Well, Pricewaterhouse came and demonstrated that they've only restructured 43% of the debt. 2, they have borrowed far faster than any government. So before he condemns the debt of the PF, let's look at the facts. PF found a debt of $3.8 billion. Let me backtrack. When Mwanawasa died in 2008 and Magande was the Minister of Finance, he had brought the debt from $7.5 billion debt to $500 million because there was a debt write-off. There was a Jubilee initiative run by the Catholic Church with consortium of NGOs, and IMF and World Bank were forced to implement what was called the HIPIC program. Highly indebted poor countries needed debt write-off, especially for our sovereign debt. Our sovereign debt was up to countries and to multinationals like IMF, World Bank, Africa Development Bank, European Bank, and others was about $7 billion. All that got written off. We remained with $500 million that was owed to the private sector. Some from the fallen Eastern Europe, countries sometimes that didn't exist, like Yugoslavia, who had supported UBZ, had sunk our tunnels, and had done a lot of infrastructure projects. So there were private companies, either state-owned or those that we had owned. So as of 2008, our debt was only $500 million. Dr. Tumbeko Msokotwane was appointed as new Minister of Finance by President Rupia Banda. He racked up the debt. By 2011, it was $3.8 billion. The PF got the debt in 2011 at $3.8 billion and racked it up to $11.9 billion by 2021. So in effect, the PF borrowed about $8 billion. Msokotwane under MMD borrowed $3.8 billion. This government, between 2021 and now, they've racked up a debt of over $4 billion. And then they've ballooned the local debt from 178 billion kwacha to 242 billion kwacha. That's a lot of debt. That's in excess of about $10 billion. So if you look at this government, President Hakainde Hichilema is blaming the PF for accumulating debt. The PF's debt, you can see it in road projects, bridges, dams, hydropower stations. You can see it in schools and hospitals. Their debt, no one can see where this huge debt has gone. So they don't talk about their new debt. They talk about the old debt and the debt restructure so that you don't ask the questions, how much have you accumulated? How much debt have you run up? So that's why I call the president a naked emperor. The other matter we have is of the permanent secretary from Central Province. Is a funny character. The Anti-Corruption Commission is investigating. They confirmed that is among the permanent secretaries that they have not cleared, but President Hakainde Hichilema has refused to have him fired. So the other day, the man was found with 1 million kwacha. He himself says it's only 200,000 kwacha. Okay, so let's go with 200,000 kwacha. So his driver took a car to the car wash, and the workers at the car wash couldn't believe their luck. They just walked away with that 200,000 kwacha. When the driver brought back and then they realized that the money was missing, they got the police, found the boys, tortured them, and recovered that money. So it was a big scandal in Kabwe yesterday. So the PS today was on radio, and he's saying, no, the money is for Chibwela Mushi ceremony that is supposed to take place over this weekend. So it was in my car. I collected it. I'm supposed to hand it over to the organizing committee of this Lala Swaka ceremony that happens between Mukushi and Serenje, called Chibwela Mushi. It celebrates the harvest. Now, therein comes the questions. I was permanent secretary for almost 5 years. The permanent secretary doesn't handle money. There's a director of finance and his accounting staff, including cashiers. Even my imprest, I don't carry it. My cashier has to come and give it to me. What was the PS doing with all this money? Let's assume it was 200,000 kwacha. But from our sources from the police, they're saying it was in excess of 1 million. But they've underplayed it to, I think, tamper the so-called scandal. But let's take his fact that he had 200,000. What is a permanent secretary doing with 200,000 kwacha? Where is his director of finance? Where is his accounting staff? Where are the cashiers? Why would the PS carry that money? That in itself is highly irregular, requires an immediate investigation. And if you are the prudent president, the Dr. Milner Mwanakampwe, who stands suspended today, because it's a highly irregular arrangement. But there appear to be special people in this government who, whatever they do, are never touched, are never fired. Look at Emmanuel Mwamba at Ratsa. Issues very tribal remarks. Discriminates, breaks the law and discriminates certain candidates. Cancels a very list that has been approved according to the regulations of Ratsa because he suspected that there was no Southerner on the list. And he even says he has now employed 2 people in human resources to ensure that this doesn't happen again, that the people of Southern Province should be included in whatever they are doing. The president has left Emmanuel Mwamba there, no action. His minister is quiet. He has not only broken the law, he has perpetrated tribalism as a qualification for any office. When you apply for a job and you do your merits, you've seen how results come. Sometimes Western Province or Luapula will score the least, and maybe Lusaka Province and Southern Province will score the top. From where we are going, they will call that list illegal because the children of a certain province haven't done very well. So the president has a special attitude towards certain people. Remember the PS tourism who was caught cancelling the tender, and the court said it was illegal. He's never been fired. Probably even his contract has been renewed after the first 3 years. It demonstrates that the selective approach to the issues of democracy. The last one, before I invite the callers, today is People's Forum. It is your forum. It's not my forum. I'm inviting you. I'm just leading debate. You can raise any of the issues, including the ones I've tabulated. Maria Zalomis, daughter to the Electoral Commission of Zambia, Chairperson Mwangala Zalomis, she has received favorable treatment from the Director of Public Prosecutions. The DPP didn't even wait for the matter to be taken to be committed to the High Court. He didn't even wait for the High Court judge whose remit, whose power it is to grant that bail. He ensured that, first of all, the amendments were done at initial stage, just at the magistrate court. That should be done in the High Court. Secondly, he ensured that she was granted bail. And then we've seen pictures of Maria Zalomis with the president and with her mother. And you don't have to be a scientist, a rocket scientist like we say. You don't have to be a lawyer to smell illegality in this entire case. The DPP issued in our response, because we said this was regular, this was criminal what he had done. He issued a long treatise demonstrating how he as a DPP has unilateral powers to decide on cases like that. And people are asking him, you let Mumbipiri rot for 429 days in prison. Yet you knew that there was no link or evidence linking her. You allowed her, you used your office to ensure that President Hakainde Hichilema punished her biggest critic in Mumbipiri, and she rot in jail for 429 days. And on the day she was supposed to deliver judgment and an acquittal, you couldn't even allow her to get that acquittal. You couldn't allow her to get the satisfaction of that acquittal. You came and entered a nolle prosequi in that case. What's a worst way of abusing power than that? In Maria Zalomis, you let her stay for 3 weeks in prison. A life has been lost. There is a video out there. A grieving mother has lost her son. And there was no justification for you guys to tie the young man up. You allege that he was sent by someone from Botswana. How can a boy like that know anyone from Botswana? And where is the same one from Botswana? The evidence is overwhelming against Maria Zalomis. But no, within 3 weeks, you release her, a murder suspect. You reduce the charges and release her. And the president the following day says, I'm going to ensure all those stealing medicine are not given bail. And the entire country laughed. Mr. President, you have just released a murder suspect. A life has been lost. All of a sudden, you are concerned about lives of our people through medicine theft and you won't grant bail? Mr. President, let's start from the case of Maria Zalomis. Mwebantu wakwalesa, chila chenuichi. I'm inviting your calls. There's a perpetual issue of the president saying that the economy is better. Look, you cannot have economy growing at 5% if you are suffering the worst load shedding in literally living memory. Businesses have closed. Businesses are bankrupted. Our people can't have productive lives. They can't save food. Not everyone can afford solar. And just with all these things happening, you have not provided relief for our people. You have not provided, for example, solar panels for them. You have not brought any relief to our people suffering the worst of load shedding. And at the heart of it, you are exporting power, minting millions of dollars so that the money from ZESCO can go to Mamba Collieries, and Mamba Collieries can be paid $400 million within a period of three months. We want to wakwalesa. Tefyo tutekwa, yobane, tefyo tutekwa. So I'm inviting you. The lines are open. This is your show. Let's hear you.
So we urge our citizens that they remain calm. We can see light at the end of the tunnel, and that tunnel is now becoming shorter by the day. As we speak, we now have unprecedented rains in the last maybe 2 decades. And with those rains, yesterday Cabinet was informed that load shedding is likely to begin to diminish by June 2025. This is because the major water catchment areas of Northwestern Province.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Today, it is your show. There is no utukeni landen lelo kulanda mailandile.
Good afternoon, good evening, Ambassador Mwamba.
Yes, thank you.
This is Zephania. I'm calling from Lusaka, Zambia.
Yes, Zephania.
Thank you very much for thank you very much. You have brought these issues which are making Zambians wonder why in 2021 they voted UPND, and today the president is saying that under PF the economy was too bad when the fuel was at 17 kwacha, when a bag of minimi was 120 kwacha, when PF built a lot of roads and improved the status, and today are moving on the same roads, and today the president is got the gut to tell us that where do we live. I should ask the president, does he know the people he's reading? Because it seems like the president is not in Zambia. He's not a Zambian president. Maybe he's a president for another country who doesn't hear what people are saying. And the president is the most informed person because he has all the reports every day. They always present what is happening in every compound. Today, Zambians, they are wondering to see the president is more like he is telling us that we voted for him so that he can only enjoy and his members of UPND. No wonder, immediately when the president was voted in, he compensated people with a lot of money. And those who were compensated are telling them that they should keep that money. Otherwise, after 2026, we're going to make sure that they got that money. They are going. Then the issue of corruption, Mwamba, the president is on record to say that he's going to fight corruption. And when you look at the president's strategy, he's not working much with his ministers. He's working with permanent secretaries. And for the first time, it's going to be for the first time in Zambia, where most of PS are going to be jailed, are going to rot in jail, because they are working hand in hand with the president, and the president is not taking, concerned about the issue of corruption. In Zambia, we have seen how people are suffering. We are suffering today. People, we have no food. People, there is no electricity. Right now, I'm speaking, electricity has gone as only 1 hour, 30 minutes. The power is gone. And he expects us, the Zambians, to start celebrating, to say, yes, the president has achieved. It was far much better in the PF. When in the PF, we only had, when you see power has gone, we would call ZESCO to tell them, they will tell you that there is a fault working. But today, whether there is a fault or not, or what we know, we have stopped ZESCO. Because even there is load shedding, the issue of Maria Zaromis, that is another issue where you will show his political. We are going.
Oh, Zephania, your line is cutting. You might have to call back. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Greetings to you, Ambassador. John Mavo, Italy.
Mkwaiwa John Mabo, please make your contribution.
Yes, I also would like to hear from other callers and other Zambians, Ambassador. I've seen Kutila, you've been hosting, you've been everybody, you embrace everybody, but nobody has been suggesting or asking your take on also aspiring for presidency, because I think you are more than qualified, even at the intelligence quotient, in intelligence quotient terms, emotional quotient terms. I don't know. I think still our people think that if you do well in life, you have grade 12, you enter the job market, maybe you start a business, you're financially stable, that you can be a leader. I think this is where we are also having it wrong. You can see more opposition, some of these issues. It's because everybody is like, oh, pride, vanity, and ego. I'm doing well. I have my investments. I've worked in the government before. I have my little money here and there. I can lead the nation. Surely. Why can't our people still understand it's more than that? It's about people who have a strong affinity to the land. People who love the people. When we say the nation, it means people, those same people who now are being mocked all the time. Our current government, statecraft. The office of the president, special operations nganinte on shida ipera ma president ma briefings every morning. Yeah, what? Limbi happened also. It's happening like what happened to President Digalungu, may he so rest in peace, where he was maybe being given wrong information regarding cadrism in the country. But Intel maybe whatever pela wrong information or whatever candidate they surround. Maybe if it's gonna put President Daga in the Ijilema, it's like he's not aware with his is disconnected from the reality on the ground in Zambia about the economy and what people are really going through, and is making these statements that seem like he's mocking the whole nation.
No, thank you very much.
Ambassador,
thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yeah, thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you very clearly.
Yeah, it's Patrick Chilufia from the UK.
Yes, Patrick. Thank you very much for calling.
But thank you so much for the job that you're doing, informing the nation and also getting the nation involved. Mwamba, I think our president was responding to John Sangwa, State Council John Sangwa, and you can see the whole government machinery is panicking now.
Mm-hmm.
Just upon John Sangwa coming to your platform last week and say he's prepared to save, all they are doing is just insults. So our president was saying that because Sangwa alluded to the fact that if we don't do anything, this country is heading towards a failed state.
Correct.
And I think Sangwa was correct. I'm going to allude to that in a moment. So our president says those who are saying that they don't live in Zambia, but I think it's our president who doesn't know that, who seems to be like a person who doesn't live in Zambia. Just like Mama was said, maybe people are not giving him enough information. And as Mama, as you said, Mwanawansa and Mangande left a debt of 500 million. Musogotwane within 3 years borrowed about 4 billion. And the same Musogotwane is borrowing at almost at the same rate PF was borrowing. But where are they taking the money? At least PF built something, though they were inflated. There was a bit of corruption in there. Everybody knows. So I think but the biggest problem is President Taurebe Shinka. When you look at corruption, there's more corruption under UPND government than in the PF. Gonzalez revealed the figures in the FIC report, 2023 FIC report. Even in 2024 FIC report, though it reduced a bit. And then our president went that the economy is going to grow. How can the economy grow when there is so much leakages in the economy through corruption, and also when there is so much load shedding? And then the president, I think now we've got a problem. Because you cannot guard the people and use the cyber laws to infringe their human rights and expect to know what is happening in the nation. So, Mwamba, to end my story, what is happening now, Kuriba HH? You, Mwamba, you know the history of the Great Depression in 1929. Those who don't know, the whole world suffered economically because of one country, America. And it was under the President Herbert Hoover who ruled America between 1929 and 1933. When the Congress was telling, and the people were telling Hoover that America is in a terrible situation, and if we don't do anything, it's going to affect the whole world. What was Hoover's response, Herbert Hoover's response? He was saying, he was optimistic that everything was okay, prosperity is just around the corner, just like what the church is saying. He believed that the solution was not federal government intervention, but rugged individualism, private charity, local communities helping those in need. So he didn't care. But what happened? The whole world suffered. And then when America had a president, in Franklin Roosevelt. He's the one who came and said America is in trouble. And the problem was sorted. John Sangwa was saying, one day, in his 10 points, not until we accept that there is a problem and diagnose that problem, we are going to be in trouble. And that's what he said. I rest my case, Mama.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Callers, keep on calling. This is your forum. This is your forum. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba. My name is Sinyango Dani. I'm calling you from Canada.
Thank you.
First and foremost, because this is a People's Open Forum, I just want to say, Mwamba, we thank you for you've given us enough. Like I like the way you do your thing, and sometimes I always even think like the way you present this forum. You are very much passionate about Zambia. You are not partisan, and I know you're PF. But the way you have articulated this program, Ambassador Mwamba, I give you credit. Second, Ambassador Mwamba, my appeal is I've seen everyone that you've brought in to this forum and the people that are aspiring to be leaders. My appeal is this to everyone that has been on this forum before. Can we put your ego aside and work together for the betterment of Zambia? Because if we are going to allow our selfishness, we are not going to help our Zambian people that are on the ground. And for me, this is simple. As of today, we only have a party that has got all the infrastructures and they are rooted on the ground. PF, whether we love it or we don't love it, has shown that it's still the party that everyone wants to destroy. It's still the party that everyone wants to work with. Can we unite? And then I'm also seeking the UPF leadership. Can they be leaders that will like resolve their issues within their bedroom, and then they should not come out? I'll appeal to Brian Mundubile, Given Lubinda. Sit down. We are all brothers. We all want the same for Zambians. Sit down, articulate your problems, and before you can be speaking to people and medias, you are one family. And you don't want the enemy thinking that you are not important to them. People are looking up to you. Can you please embrace each other and work out your differences? The third point is, that if you are you come and ask your children. This is what is happening to this current president. He is making, and actually the statements that he is making that everything is well in this country, is mocking that person who's a barber man who has lost out his business because of lack of electricity. Many Zambians are into small enterprise. They have lost out because of this load shedding. And there is no way the president can be mocking the Zambians. Because there is no way you'll be saying, oh, we are living well unless you are living out. Actually, for me, I don't even think like he's advised by the people that sit around him are the people that send him wrong messages. He knows it himself. More reason why he's the president. But he keeps on mocking the Zambians. For me, my appeal is for you Zambians, register in numbers. And when you register in numbers, go out and vote. Secure your vote.
Thank you, my brother.
Come on this podium. They have got brilliant ideas. Zambia is not lacking of leadership. We need to change. And we have a Zambia to protect for our children and our children's children. Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
I'm also aware of the electricity problems that Zambia is facing. But despite the problems that we have with the supply of electricity in Zambia, you still supply us with electricity. Again, you would have said we cannot sacrifice our power when we have shortage. But you still give us. Katima Mlilo town, where I come from here, is supplied with power from Zambia. When you have a power outrage here, we also have power outrage. But that's the brotherhood we are talking about, the neighborhood we're talking about.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador. This is Munkonge.
Thank you, Munkonge. Please make your contributions.
Good evening, everyone. Ambassador, what I can say, try to have other time, because you are a digger. Try to dig about a narcissist person, because the leader we have is a narcissist, and the type of a narcissist, he cannot be a Christian, and you know those people, how they do things. They always talk about the hard things, so we cannot talk about the development, because he's using the past things to put people in past, talking about PF. He knows what he's doing. So ichikankala sana tumaisora kwa abantu bachita understand baishiba ushe leader wesu ni type wa muntu nshi uleteke chalo fyonse fyachita kateka wesu alishiba nomba ifwe tufumwana kwa chiteshibo fyale chitale shiba fyonse fye so balibula image yaba PF kutubika mu fyakale pako bacha abantu be sarapuka mu mano wao nishi fintu fya ale ona ole fintu ora wabule fya past to fya bika no bawo mu bena Zambia bonse kutubika mu past kuranda bali ba PFO ifi pako ba mentality yesu tule tontonkanya fya kunuma tuisara ko tontonkanya charo pochile ndela elio amakalekta yawo kula bokwiranga kwati umuntu na kwatamano bale shibane fya lera ndati finka ya mkulanda ni shinaba wina na chitasote kweba chiteshigo fya lechita nomba chiri kuri fofo bena Zambia tufire mwafa kwa abantu kubesura what type of a leader so ngachakwe watatu bombere chapamo pali 2026 awe charoko chingafika ni kumbi because ifintu ifyona ikena fura nomba bandite tubamone ukuchira na pamyaka yabakaunda 27 years bakaunda ko batekere fintu ba 3 step ifyona ikapali 4 years fyachirapo elio that's why famulesa ngira nangwati if abamanesi if mulesa ngati bamumbipiri baranda kufyaka so because ya character yabakateka balingisha kwambira mu ma branches muri ba kada yonse ayamano mumona kuri ba kada na bashani kwisa kuma ministers bonse bali abantu bali bachitanani kani bali bona ola brain kumuntu so tapali fingalandi kwa so fyaba feni automatic icha chitika kwangu bera nishi ba taking advantage so ngamo alole shapa fyo bale sta attacking mu ba PF fintu fyaba program jakali so tufire twasara puko kwishwa bushen type y'abantu nshi obo ture diri ngana bena nangu fita pali koti kuri konsoko ingayawo inomurandi takuli ba police abali bonza benga ko afa because bonze barabali bawina ama brain kubura PF kuitita kuibika pa bantu ababi that's why umuntu tumwa munafyo kupama kutuwa mukuranda pali bridge kazungula yota wabo mbere pona ngwaka likonso wayabika na speech NSC naturalanda yoine kubura fyonze file suma fya bombere ba PF kufinyanta tafire file mufika na kuishu ikubantu kura funyafe ukura mono akwa kamura ndunga twakakusha gatwabe twaranda kubantu abantu bala onforuse kuri iforo bomfo ubi kuri ba PF atikansha babantu efyo bale ona ole charo efi kansha babantu fe bale ona ole charo efi nisha abantu na bapora bena parata bale sarapuka kubura shaba maranji 11 million ngayasa mfika 11 million na abantu bamfana ubura ndatikanshi bali bakabwara araba so it's up to us Zambians ukuchita understand kusheni character ishia muntu uyu chonze fifire chitika ba mumbipiri bashani fyali ba mu program mwakali so tapale fo tuingachita fight what is important kwikatana fe no kufunyapo ubuteko ngatwa kufunyapo ama mistakes abantu bakesa yamona abashaka kwatamenso bakesa amonika bonse baraba masos abako batwara station tuchite disturb nomba na ma man of God bafafire fyabali kibanda fyamufika fyonse fya kufurunganya abantu ama brain pako bacha abantu bafurungana yana nisho kufinto alea oro again ngamwa konka sana mu government ngamwa epsha fyo babombana bena mwanasanga tinywa Mr. Light vena va president yonse vena tabarufya nyawo efe abamanesist so
thank you namumva kunu mafoni yenu irelila sana abantu baletuma natasha bamunkonge natasha. Yeah, let's get your call. The Law Association of Zambia have said independent candidates can stand. The Law Association of Zambia have issued a statement confirming that the independent presidential candidates can stand. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba. Thank you very much. Am I clear?
Yes, you are.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, first and foremost, for this open forum that you have created. And we are asking if you can make it a permanent feature. I must state that as a Zambian, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, I feel insulted over the statement that the president issued, that things are better now than the way they were when he assumed office. I feel terribly insulted, and why this government is taking time in mocking the people of this country, I don't understand. What has improved is his life himself. That is what has improved. His life himself has improved. Because himself is having electricity 24 hours. He doesn't know anything about road shedding. Himself is always eating free shima by taxpayer in State House there. People in compound who put him in office, they can't manage to buy a 25 kg now. A 25 kg Milmi President Hakainde Hichilema found it at 130 kwacha. He is now brought it to 450. So you can tell me that that is not worse than the way he found it. So please, we're asking this government to stop mocking and insulting our intelligence as the people of this country. Corruption. During his time, it has worsened. You can now see that his ministers are found with 1 million in a vehicle. And he is quiet, he's not doing anything. We had the gold scandal there. He's not quiet, he's not doing anything, as if he's the one who is sending them to go and do what they are doing. If he is not the one who is sending them, why is he not firing this minister who has been found with the man? So what we are saying is that protect your Sambila by Emmanuel Mwamba. My brother, protect your Sambila. Ebo protect. I used to buy it in what? In PF, I used to buy it at 6th quarter. 6th quarter, that's the amount I used to buy it in PF. In this government, I'm buying it at 25 quarter. And the president comes and is saying that those people who are not seeing the improvement are not living in Zambia. It's indeed a shame with people of Zambia. That's why we are appealing to this opposition to say, please, stop fighting amongst yourselves. People of Zambia are resolved. This issue where the opposition also don't seem to understand what is at play in this country, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
They don't understand what is at play. Because if they understood what is at play, they are not going to be fighting amongst themselves. When you are fighting amongst yourselves, taking yourselves to the police, reporting yourselves to the police, in whose interest do you think that is doing? Now, instead of us talking about the problems people are facing, we should be talking about the issues that are happening in the opposition. We are appealing to all opposition political parties to ensure that they come together, resolve your issues, reduce your egos. You can't all be president at the same time. People of Zambia are resolved to make this government pack like what the Malawians did. That's what we want to do in Zambia. But we want a clear opposition. This issue of the opposition fighting amongst themselves should come to an end. Resolve, reconcile yourselves. Think about the people who are suffering in Mrs. Compound. Think about the cervical cancer patients who are dying. Cervical cancer hospital TTH has collapsed completely. There's nothing happening there. So these are the issues the opposition must be preoccupying themselves in, other than fighting amongst themselves. It is a shame and a disgrace that they're having to be fighting amongst themselves. But Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, I feel very much insulted as a citizen of this country for the president to be talking in the manner he was talking. Because where he is, the president, together with the first lady and his family, they are eating free meal, paid for by the people of this country. He doesn't know how much it pays for people to be buying meal. He doesn't know the total darkness that he has inflicted on them. And I'm happy that you have continued exposing them. Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, please continue exposing this government. In the PF, we were complaining for 3 hours of load shedding, 3 hours. Now, Emmanuel Mwamba, we have got total darkness, total darkness. You can imagine, Againde's power only comes at 22 hours, and at midnight it goes. 22 hours, that's when power comes. At midnight it goes. And he's saying that we are better off today. What he wants is that for us to commit crimes, what is that coming off of us? Why does he want us to tell him? If he can be telling us that now we are much better than the way we were under PF. We are very much okay under PF. Under PF, everything was okay. Even corruption was not the way it is now. Under PF, even when there was corruption, when we complained, we hate Edgar Lungu or our president acting. But this president, you can be talking, he's quiet. Right now, his ministers are found with money. He's not even ashamed of himself. He's quiet, he's not even acting as if he's the one who has sent them. So, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, please, we are appealing to this opposition. Tell this opposition to wake up, to say that, please, if we don't chase this, we are going to blame this opposition. We are fed up with this administration.
Thank you, my dear brother.
Please, Mr. Emmanuel Mwamba, keep exposing them.
Thank you very much, my brother.
That man was found corrupt. Yeah, and they are saying they're investigating. What is that to investigate when you are clearly seeing the person involved in corrupt activities?
Yeah.
So this government is busy nurturing and protecting criminals, hybrid criminals, who are busy looting and plundering our resources.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your call, my brother.
We've hit the target already, 3 million tons. When we set this target, a lot of our political competitors say, Wofi, Wobera, Wenye, Boza, Kubea. This year we're tinkering on 1 million tons, knocking on the door. Knocking on the door. Psychological mark, as the minister said. It doesn't come by chance. It's the things we're discussing that we've had to do. Finish, Ambassador. It's the things that we've had to do, we're doing to get to 3 million tons, break the psychological mark, even our detractors, and they're there. Few as they may be, but they make a lot of noise. As the minister says, how can you talk of a failed state? You were running the country, you sunk us into debt, you failed to restructure the debt, you had no credibility. The economy was declining at minus 2.8%. Your friends come and clean up the mess you created. Instead of saying thank you, you're saying, no, Zambia is now a failed state. Are you talking to kids or you're talking to who? Honestly speaking. On average, in the last 4 years, this economy has grown at 5.3% per annum, on average, even with the drought. From minus 2.8% to an average of 5.3%. By any standard. This is a positive move. I don't want to go into other economic factors, measures. Clear. Inflation coming down, exchange rate stability, foreign reserves increasing. But someone really can issue a statement and say the situation.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Yes, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. You are live?
Hello.
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 Yes, good evening.
Hello, Ambassador Mwamba. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly.
Oh, thank you so much. Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba.
Good evening.
Well, Ambassador Mwamba, these issues are quite sensitive and hateful to talk about them here, but I just want to stick to the point, yes. You know, looking at the whole situation, I can only conclude that the president, our president of today, is not loved by his counterparts. Is being misdirected very much, and he has got no say. Yeah. You know, Mwamba, you cannot have a vision if you hold a grudge against somebody. Yes. Because being a leader, number one, you are supposed to be sensitive, and you're supposed to be a listener, and you're supposed to look at people's complaints. Yes. Today I sat down and I listened very much to the topic of Queen Pumi. You know, she had said something which was actually quite sensible, where she said that we need to try and change the government, the president, by putting people who have never been in this government before. Yes. Well, Mwamba, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I'm just speaking my heart. And it's very true. Nalami pela kofi example. Umwana nga abisya, baby. Tulamuwamya. Elo tuwabule itebela. Itebela lo tulemfuika uyo mwana. Tulafaya lile moneka very clean. Twamufuika uyo mwana. Teti tukule futi itebela limoline. Iyo mwana abifishe. Elo tuwaya mfuika. Tangista pale echo tulechita. So nomba pefo chinga bafienga chaka bafatulefo kwika no mtende kuti tuwaesha komkwai ukubula abantu bambi abashatala apita muntungwa kubika pofyo omuntu umbi ukumanelefo chinga bapanwecha pachano chesu ichicha Zambia chilechula efo ningalanda fefo fine kumlandu wakwe bati bali abonse nangwa abali mu buteko bwalelo abali na ba HH niba nyobe nese abantu amobe nifo kutafe recycle tabale fwai kwa iyo nangwa panono chintu fe chimwe ndachira for kulanda pwechi.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. Thank you
so much.
Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Sorry, Ambassador, I'm back in Evo. I to ask, I have two questions I forgot to ask you.
Oh, Mkwai ba mabo, Mkwai.
Mkwai. Iria Ambassador, cybersecurity, signed into law, I think. It was done secretly, right? It was the American ambassador to Zambia who notified the American citizens visiting Zambia about putting it into consideration, right? That's when we also got to know about it.
Mkwai, what happened is when Parliament passed, there was pressure that the president must not sign. So we're hoping that the president would defer the bill back and send it back to Parliament. Then only to learn from the American ambassador that the president had already signed it into law.
Na retracted their statement in maybe the incumbent is given wrong information. It means they know what they are doing for them to be treacherous like that to the nation ambassador, because if you feel the clip, this recent clip where under party economy, it has grown by 3 points. But is it only in nominal terms, or what does it mean? In the corporate world, that's how they steal money. In nominal terms, Pama papers, everything shows it into the. But in reality, not feeling inflated, because in a Zambia ambassador, these things I was experiencing them, not that because in Shiriko. Few of a few mutima, few like Zambia, Shinkafi. I want to from these other developed nations that it's even. You can't be comparing our countries have the euro, the pound, or the American dollar to our kwacha, but it's even more expensive. So 61% of our people live below the poverty line. We are the 6th poorest country in the world. Na inequality. Then abantu bamoka. Nshishive maybe katishinga Zambians inshabade chita benefit from your economic growth kateka besubade ndapo ambassador. But that was my first question. Then Ninkotako, the second question. According to bureaucratic order, I'm Zambia ambassador. Can a permanent secretary apply for interest for capital?
MQI, no, not at all, not at all. No, you can't. Impress is just for impress, for your driver to use fuel and accommodation while you are gone. You don't use it for capital funding. In fact, even that funding for PS is actually irregular. Funding for traditional ceremonies are done by Ministry of Tourism. I don't understand how he got that money from the bank. That matter is highly irregular and must be pursued.
Am I regular situations, but got na fulako mudi government ambassador mwandini na inena I think na abantu shavengi the people have worked in government before. Abare bomba na vena batu papa vade papa. Anyway, these were my questions. Thank you so much, Ambassador. I think I'm clear.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's take more calls. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba. This is Kefas Mwapemsonda calling you from Kabwe Central Province, Zambia.
Thank you.
An advocate for industrialization and national development.
Yes, my dear brother. Make your contributions.
Thank you very much. Article 100, Ambassador Mwamba, of the amended Constitution of 2016 is very clear that even at that time, if we so wished as a country, if people were ready, they would have filed in nomination to stand and contest an election as an independent presidential candidate. What Madam Given Katuta has done, a member of parliament for Chiengi, is a welcome move, and it's something that holds up to whatever that we believed in and amended the constitution that we have today, the 2016. Honorable, my submission tonight is maybe there would be other people also thinking that she needs to relinquish her position as a member of parliament, since she has decided to vie for that high, big position of this great country, Zambia. Article 72 of the Constitution, G, subsection G, Article 72, subsection 2G says, having been elected to the National Assembly as an independent candidate, when someone joins a political party, it simply means they have to lose their position in parliament because they would have crossed the floor. So the member of parliament is an independent member of parliament. She has not crossed any floor, and she is within the parameters of the constitution, even to vie for that position of presidency. My worry is that as we approach the 2026 national and general elections, if we will have a lot of independent candidates vying for that position, it would mean that the basket of the voters, it would be as good as being separated amongst the opposition. If we are to consolidate the opposition against the ruling, I think it's high time that all those with ambitions, we know that it's their constitutional rights to do that, but if we are looking at Zambia to be greater than all of us, we need to come to a consensus where we feel we can also rally behind other people and then redeem this country from whatever that we're passing through. I want to register my disappointment, the countrymen, women, and the entire world. I was confused, and I'm still confused, to see a charge of murder being dropped to manslaughter. A person who would have cried for help, just like that, died. And the arresting officer from a particular police station who has been trained charged these people with an offense of murder. But the DPP, even when the case was almost being committed to the High Court so that the High Court can prevail over the affairs of murder, it was dropped to manslaughter. Zambians, I am still appealing to every one of us to stand up and speak against this kind of vices and the selective application of the law. I think all of us before the law, we must be treated equally. Simfukwe's death, it can never be treated in any way as a form of manslaughter because this man was actually amputated. This man was actually defeated. Amongst the many, he was just alone. Manslaughter, the way I understand it, Honorable, is that maybe through defense, when someone comes with a weapon and then you try to defend yourself, that's in that scenario that someone dies. But in this regard, Simfukwe was a weak person and a person who couldn't even have defended himself. So the DPP, in that regard, must clarify and tell the Zambian people the difference between manslaughter as well as a murder case. Coming to the issue of tribalism, it is uncalled for 61 years after independence that we can hear a chief executive officer of RATSA saying that other tribes from other areas of this country can never be employed or have high-ranked positions. This is retrogressive and it's as good as taking the country back to the areas of colonialism when Zambians were not free to associate, even interact with others. 73 tribes, it's not by mistake, it's not by chance that God gave us this country, that all...
Oh, we've lost our caller. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Hello, caller. You are live.
Hello, Ambassador.
Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Anonymous, Ambassador.
Anonymous, make your contributions.
Oh, thank you very much. First and foremost, I wanted to agree with the first caller. I think this is the high time we should come together as a country and do the right thing. Because with the issues that you've just brought on the table right now, they are affecting everyone in this nation, except those people with blind eyes. So now, what I wanted to say, I just wanted to contribute about one thing, maybe just to open some other people's mind. Yali ama NRCs yali abarekopa abantu kuli ubuteeko. Ambassador ndefu makofe munshira pano ono but ndefu afi kutira njishushe kofi njipusha kuri mu no kwishibisha kwa abantu. Yarama NRCs bare ko pa abantu kubuteeko bare turo kwa turechinja ama NRCs. Twala chinja ama NRCs twala fuma muri atwa kwata ya green twingire ko muri yambi. Abengi bari kopesha, I think it was nationwide. Everyone, I think, visited. And now, MPs, a lot of them, they even advertised that, and a lot of people, they were captured. But later on, don't you think it was part of the system here called elections? Because those NRCs, that means details here. Those people, they are going to mark the ballots. Kumbali kwa abantu kulingana pe constituency kulingana bali abantu balesinga ma NRCs kwa kuma constituencies ko balesendera. So I think my opposition, they need to come together and also check all these angles and every corner yoba UPN they focus on liga my elections, because again the chairman, he knows that he's losing power. He knows that, that's a fact. Apatureranda right now is panicking because he wants to change the constitution. He wants to amend the constitution so that akwate motuma lupos okusashita moliga my election. This man, I doubt if he's going to accept the results in Alusa. We need to come together as a country because we don't want this man to continue. This man has destroyed this country already. So we don't want this president to continue. So what we need to do as a country, we need to come together as one people with all the 72 tribes, beside being Tonga, Bemba, or whatever. But even though this man we know is very tribal, and whatever has been, the other thing is that this social cash transfer alipera abantu wa ambassador. Have you noticed that in Southern Province, everyone is getting social cash transfer, including our maybe let me say 30 years, 35 to 50, 60, somewhere there. But when you go to the northern party of the nation, you find that they are saying that abalingiro kusende yali social cash transfer bantu abakwete 60 and above. Then with those people bali abakwete kwa mafumo. Now the question is, these other people bali pakati hapo kusafu, let me say from 0 to 50 from 0 to 59, they don't have an access to it. But our Southern Province, no 35, they are getting that money. Now, ambassador, all these issues, the question is, we need a president who is going to unite this country, because everyone has to have a cake. You understand, ambassador? So I wanted just to share this to you and every Zambian for everyone to know.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Zephania, good evening, Ambassador Zephania. Network Parea Chupa, Zephania Piri from Lusaka.
Indeed,
I
Zephania.
wanted to contribute on, yes, I wanted also to say something about the famous now Article 100, where Grayson Hamasaka, he misled himself and quickly he came back after the correction. You said, no, this is constitutional that anyone can stand, because when you look at the UPND, even the president, it's more like they are not reading the constitution. That's why, if you have seen, under the last 4 years, he has breached the constitution more than any other 6 presidents who have ruled this country. And the Article 100 goes further to state that 2 months before the elections, that's when someone should declare. It is very clear. It's 2 months before, even when you are in PF, but 2 months before, then you have declared, then you are eligible to stand as an independent. That's why you go around, in each province, you must have 100 people who are going to support you. So that, Article 100 is very clear. It says that you have grade 12, all those basics of one who should become the president. Equally myself, if I want, I can. So Zambians, the problem of UPND is that they've got people in the government who are not reading. That's why even their praise singers, they don't read, they always follow what their president is saying. Now, when it comes to issue where they signed yesterday, Honorable Kabuso, Mines Minister, he was even celebrating about the local content, that what they have done, they have signed now because it's towards elections. They want to appease their members, not those minors, the members, so that they can have something towards general elections. So when you look at, they are not doing it for the Zambians. They are just trying to push on so that they can have support and win. But the truth of the matter is that I want to tell President Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND, Zambians have already made a decision. Zambians have already made a decision. They are waiting for 13th August. It should be 13th or 16th August 2026 to bring in. They have already removed UPND. So whatever they are going to do now is not going to move any person, because Zambians now, we are clever and we read. That's why immediately when one has made a mistake, even whoever at the highest office, Zambians will come on the social media and say, this is what is supposed to be done. So even the next president who is coming, he should make sure that Zambians, they should not be taken for a ride. Zambians are well informed. Zambians were well informed, and we want a better Zambia. And I want just to appeal My appeal is going to our PF and Tonse. Please, our leaders, resolve these issues at the boardroom. We are tired to see pressure after pressure after pressure. Zambians, you are making Zambians to feel as if like we have no leadership. Zambians are waiting for Patriotic Front. Zambians are waiting for you people to make a decision. Immediately you choose a leader, you are going to see how people are going to jubilate. Zambians are waiting so that they can celebrate because they have been gagged. They can't speak. They want to come and speak after PF was done. And that's why if you have seen today people, they can make a comparison between PF and UPND. Because PF projects are more visible. Today, we have seen they will say from negative 2.8 to 5.6%. Yes, it's growing on paper, but not in our homes. In our homes today, it's negative 1 point something percent because each and every home is crying. He wants a better life, which we were promised by President Hakainde Hichilema. But the president is not sensitive. All what he wants is just to listen to people who are, no, kwenyu. There is no kwenyu. In kukunyuka chabe, wantu wakunyuka until wantu manje, bazaka kunyukira na ballot paper. That's when you're going to see. So this is what I wanted just to contribute when I called earlier on. Thank you very much, comrade, for giving me another opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's get... Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello, Ambassador, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Very fine, thank you. This is Trusty Kahale calling you from Southern Province, Namwala.
My dear brother from Namwala, make your contribution, Trust.
Sure. Thank you so much for the work which you are doing, bringing issues concerning the country. I just wanted to add my voice as well.
Yes, sir.
Even when Mr. Mwamba, we have seen that the president has done a lot to our country. I feel there is need of you and I and other callers to appreciate that which he has done for this country. Allow me to retaliate to the last caller who said in Southern Province, almost everyone is getting social cash transfer. That's not the true reflection of what is happening in Southern Province. We appreciate what you are doing to do checks and balances, but let us be factual in the way we do things. So when it comes to the case where the matter was brought to manslaughter, we all read and we know what happens in the court. People argue on the facts there. You cannot force the case to be withdrawn from murder to manslaughter if it does not qualify. So lawyers argue in the court of law, and when it qualifies, that's when it is taken to manslaughter. So let us appreciate the president, what he has done so far. You can't tell me, Emmanuel, that everything which HH has done is nothing to you and me. That's not the way we should be doing politics. Where it's due, let us appreciate. Are you here?
My brother, you have the forum. Please speak.
Yes. So I urge all Zambians to go through and to appreciate what he has done for people. Today, almost everyone is receiving free education. There is free education which people are receiving. We have a CDF which is being given to almost everyone. All the constituents in Zambia, they are given this CDF, regardless of which party you are coming from or which constituency. So this issue of you telling people to say there is tribalism in this government. I feel it's unfair, which we are doing to this man. We need to appreciate and to acknowledge what someone has done. Even when we want him to go out, let us give due respect and do what's supposed to be done as countrymen. I thought I should add that.
Thank you. Our dear brother from Namwala adding his voice there. He says we should appreciate President Hichilema for what he has done. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, or is it good afternoon, Ambassador? This is Robert calling from the UK.
Yes, Robert.
I don't know what the last caller was talking about. I think people don't realize what's happening in our country. And when they talk about free education, they talk about CDF. If those are the only things they think Hakainde Hichilema has done as the president of Zambia, then they have no idea the state of our country. The president was proudly talking about how many tons of copper they are producing in the country. We don't care. They can produce even 10, 15 million, but what are they bringing in our country is what matters. You know, if they show on the receipts that Zambia is making so much money from that copper, then we would say yes. But then they are failing the country. You know, Zambia is broken. And if people are talking about that's not free education, that is access to education. Because free education, it should be quality enough. But now, if you're a teacher and you've got over almost 100 pupils in a class, how do you even know the kids that have got special needs? The kids that are struggling, how do you keep up as one single teacher? It's almost impossible to build relationships with those pupils to understand where they are lacking. And this CDF that is saying that almost everyone, I think is coming from a different planet. Maybe him is accessing CDF, but he should ask the majority of Zambians. They don't even know how to access it, or they've tried to access it, but it's not working. You know, CDF is another way for a government that is lazy and they don't want to do the hard work, and then just try to use CDF, that you've got CDF to help you. Because the government is running from responsibilities to look at those infrastructure in those communities that they are supposed to look after. So I think for me, Hakainde Hichilema, you should see this coming. The Zambians now are fighting for the second independence. And this second independence, it's not a colonial independence. It's because of what it's doing to our country, what is done with the cyber law, what is about to do with Bill 7, and what is about to do with Bill 13. So the Zambians now need to open their eyes that this is a very special kind of independence that we need to make sure that we reclaim our country and put it at the path where we have leaders that have empathy, leaders that have understanding, and leaders that have tolerance enough so that people can criticize them and they take it on the chin. But for a president to stand and say, those of you that are complaining, which country, he needs to go to Kanyama and see how people are struggling. He needs to go to Mandevo. You know, very soon we're going to have the rains and Lusaka will be flooded everywhere. So for him to go there and proud to restructure debts, how can you be proud of that as an achievement? Quite now, Peter. Negotiate, and you're proudly saying we've achieved something. This is a failed government. Zambians now need to wake up and realize that they need to correct everything in our country. And we need the second independence, and Hakainde Hichilema needs to go on his UPND. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Ambassador Mwamba.
Anonymous, make your contributions.
Yes, so mine is nice and simple, sweet, straight to the point. That person from Namwala is saying we have to appreciate what Mr. Hakainde has done here. But what you have to look at is you look at the scale, the scale on the left and on the right. Like, you know, when you see the legal person standing to see where it weighs, where you go wrong and where you go right and stuff like that. If you look at Mr. Hakainde, he's losing us $3.5 billion per annum. Yeah, $3.5 billion per annum. That already dismantles whatever little that he's done that we could have appreciated. So no matter how much work he puts in, there's no amount of work that will go beyond the amount of money that we are losing every year, $3.5 billion. Also, you look at the concentrates. He's shipping out all our minerals without us taking stock of what else is going out. You see, because there are other components in those minerals and they're going. So the amounts that we are losing is actually even more than that, because what is going out, we can't account. So for my brother in Namwala, the president, we cannot appreciate what he is doing, because what is coming out of the country is more than the little that he's putting back in the country. So that was what I wanted to say. And that is what that person in Namwala has to be thinking through, to say we are losing so much than the little that he's putting in. So we can't appreciate the little that he is putting in. The other thing is the amounts of money that they are giving others, like Imita, Ufole, and the rest. If you look at younger people running countries, they start with tractors, issue tractors, like strategic. They go to certain points across their country, and they look after the individuals that they identify to start their agriculture. They'll give them the equipment, and they'll let them run for a good number of months or years whilst they're monitoring them. They're buying their crops until they become strong, and then they let them be. Then they go to the next. That's how they do it. But you look at what Hakainde has done. He goes and buys CDF vans, the CDF vans that are not even doing the works that they should be doing. They go and buy ambulances. Well, fine, we do need ambulances, but not in the manner they've been contracting these things. And you also have to look at what revenue is coming in. You spend so much. You need to understand, if we put in this kind of capital as a country, what are we going to bring in? So those are the areas that you need to look at. You can't just be celebrating having motor vehicles and celebrate that the president is working. No, he's not. We need to look at the income that the country is bringing in. So that was my little contribution. I thought I would...
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Yes, thank you for that advice from Namwala. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's an open forum. We picked out a few subjects and we want you to contribute. It's open for. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yes, Ambassador Mwamba, it's me. I just spoken earlier. I just want to respond to the previous caller who actually spoke about appreciating of what the president has done. All I want to say is, if people have got nothing to say, it's better if they don't even bother to go and start talking about things that people know exactly what's happening. What is he talking about? Free education. Quantity and not quality. I have got a niece who was employed to work in one school in Zambia. 100 kids in a class. Children not having desks. Yes, we could appreciate what the president has done. The little that he has done for the Zambian people. It's a drop in the ocean. They should just keep quiet. They should talk for themselves. Because this way, they make people very, very angry. We are not stupid. People have been blasted because people were free to talk. They can come up and they can talk, but there's no way people can talk in Zambia. Who are these people? Please, if you have nothing to say, keep your opinion to yourself. I end here. because I'm so upset.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Where should I come?
Come.
With you?
Yeah, by the
Okay. All right. I have to go with police. Yes, brother. Everything okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Sorry?
Everything is okay.
All right. What's going on? My brother, what's going on? Right.
Hello, Lusaka City Council.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't know about this license or whatever. I'm just a YouTuber. I make videos. I try to show nice sides of the country.
Okay.
So I just, no bad intentions. Like I just want to show Lusaka in my channel. I just go buy vegetables. You see, I buy vegetables. And
So you delete those pictures.
Okay.
With immediate effect, and I'll charge you.
Okay. What are you gonna charge me?
Yes. Because you are taking pictures without the consent of, without the permit
Okay.
from Lusaka City Council.
Brother, I've been 60 countries.
Yes.
I normally travel like this, and everyone is okay with that. So I didn't know there's a rule like this.
Yeah.
So what's the charge for this? Like, can I get the permit now?
You can't get permit from here
Okay.
unless from that the head office.
Okay, I will go to the head office and I will ask them for permit, and I can fix it.
This one,
And what's the fee for that?
probably maybe 1,000.
1,000.
Victor.
1,000 is like $40, $42. Isn't that too much for license? For
it's
filming
not,
normal market?
It's not for the license.
Brother, but
It's
this video...
for filming without authority.
Okay, I understand. But these videos are good for your country too. People see...
No, but without the consent from the manager.
Okay, no problem. I can go get them there. Do you have a number? I can get there right now after with taxi. And I go say, this is what we did. I get the permit and I have permit for the rest of the trip.
Yeah. So most of the time, you might be the tourist or, or whatever. When you visit, especially marketplaces,
yes,
you first thing you pass through the manager's office.
Okay.
To get permission to say, oh, I want to take pictures.
Okay. Yeah, because I've been Africa 5, 6, 7 countries. I never ask for permission. I just go film, and people are happy with it. I'm happy, and everyone is good.
When I go receipt, possible receipt, 1,000 when you're taking our pictures without any documentation.
So I pay the fee here or where?
You pay here.
I pay you.
Yes.
Okay.
You pay him.
I pay him, and you give me a receipt?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What we can do, we do it. And then you let me go after?
Yeah, you go.
Okay.
But
you give me permit, I can leave and now film in all Lusaka?
No, not all Lusaka.
So what is this now? Is this penalty or is this license?
It's a penalty.
You give me penalty?
Yes.
Okay,
for
very interesting.
taking pictures without authority.
Okay, you cannot make exception for me? We can make a deal for 400, 500, then I go?
Okay, no problem.
400?
500, no problem.
400.
500, no problem, I can help
Okay.
you. Because you are a human being like me.
Exactly, and I'm tourist. I just come here with good intention. I spend already so much money to come to your country because no one comes to your country from my country. I come. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, so you give me something or I just go? I can go to taxi and then go?
You can go.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. All right, guys. All right. Bribery works every time. Let me get out from here. All right, guys, I'm a little bit far away from that spot. I just tried to get out from the market so I can be in a different area so I don't get into same situation again. It's basically, it's a whole scam. Like the police brings you to police station and there's other people and then it tells you about the license and stuff like this. I'm not doing like the documentary. I'm not filming for movies or something like this. I don't need like any special permission, especially in the market. This is like, I've been filming Now I traveled over 60 countries and I've been traveling in the East Africa, filmed almost everywhere. And except like a private properties, they might tell you not to film. So he started with 1,000 kwacha, which is around $40, $42. And then I negotiated it to down to basically $20. So it was literally bribing the police. This has no other name. And if the permission was so important to him, he would just keep insisting and tell me to go to the city council or whatever. But obviously, it's not about the license, is it? It's not. It's about the money. So $20 in an economy that where average.
Yes, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador. This is Anonymous from the land of AI. It's been long
Anonymous.
since I called your program.
We missed you.
Yes. Yes. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. So I just want to make a very strong comment. I think I agree with sentiments that this Zambia is now really a fallen state. I mean, it's crazy the things that are going on. We recently saw UPND cadres torture people and the police really did nothing, and social media was ablaze talking about that incident. And the next thing that we saw is the chief of the police warning people who were discussing the possibility of a protest, which is legal in Zambia. It is okay to protest in Zambia. You can notify the police. And the Inspector General was basically warning people not to do it. And this was happening within a few days of them ignoring really, a really difficult situation that someone had gone through, torture and so on and so forth. Then we saw a situation where the president goes and says that those who stole medicines will have no bail. And we know who he was referring to. And the next thing that we see is Zolomis, who had committed a murder, given bail. Those are symptoms of a fallen state. Zambia has lost its independence, Ambassador, and I think it is time that all of us in this country begin to cry out for our second independence. And I think it is, we are in that Kairos moment as we approach 2026, because I think it is an opportunity for Zambians to stand up, to rise up and claim our independence back. We need to get power from these villains who think that human life is just something that you could ignore, and as long as someone is not from your party or you're not related in any way, then they are nobody. That's not the purpose of being in power. I think Zambia has fallen. Literally, this country has fallen, and we need to grab it back. We need to fight for our own independence. We need to fight for our constitutional independence as a nation. We need to remove these people. Where are we going to end up like this? You cannot have a situation where a murderer is given bail, and then because you think that a politician may have stolen medicines and say there shall be no bail, the president now just pronounces laws on podiums. This is scary. We are looking at a dictator forming himself, and there are people clapping. I think we need to introspect, and I would like to wrap up and say, if you have a child who's going to be 18 by August next year, get them an NRC and make sure they register as a voter. If you have an 18-year-old child and anybody who didn't vote last time and they turned 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and they're in your home, make sure they register as a voter. Let every home, this should be a family affair. Independence 2026, the second independence should be a family affair. It should be a community affair. Talk to your church mates, talk to your neighbors, talk to your workmates. Make sure everybody turns up and we grab this nation back from these villains. Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you very much, Anonymous. Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Ambassador Mwamba, Honorable.
I'm very grateful, caller. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening. This is Don Oscar. I'm calling from Italy. Thank you very much. Good evening to you and good evening to all the viewers or to the listeners.
Thank you, Father. We missed you. Thank you for your call.
Thank you so much. I just would like also to add my voice on this noble conversation. And definitely I'll touch maybe 2 points which are trending in our country. The first one, indeed, is what transpired with that some sort of corruption to a foreigner from Azerbaijan foreigner, and what we saw, very embarrassing indeed, very embarrassing. I would say that I feel also embarrassed. It's not that we just want to accuse those guys. I don't know whether it was a police officer, whether it was just a cadre. We hope the government is going to clear that issue. But the embarrassing part about this is what we have been saying all along. What is the situation? It happened to me when I was in Kitwe, taking a photo at the statue of that Mposamawe in Kitwe. And when I was taking a photo at the statue, a gentleman came to me and he says, well, you are not supposed to take a photo in the public. I was shocked. This place is near, I think there's some sort of NIAC or a ShopRite, I think. There's a ShopRite on this side, and then there was an old butter shop on the other side. There's this statue, beautiful statue of Chimposama Kitwe. So now, when they stopped me, actually this gentleman, he came to me, and then I came another one. They came in two. They said, it is not allowed to take a photo. I said, but I'm taking a photo of this statue. We have been taking it, and we show our friends, and also for myself. And says, no, in the public, you are not supposed to take a photo because we suspect you are taking a photo of some shop and things like that. So I was so shocked. And they forced me to delete the pictures. They forced me to delete the pictures and said, okay, thank you very much. I was shocked and I left. And so some of the people, they said, yes, well, it is just that situation. I could not believe it was a reality until today. When I saw what happened today, I think the government has to come in. That man from Azerbaijan, he mentioned something which was so sensitive for our tourism industry. He said, there are not many people who come from my country, so we're talking about Eastern Europe. And I came and I paid a lot of money. And here you are asking me to pay for funds which are not so clear. First of all, the gentleman said, you go and pay at the central office. Am I clear?
Yes.
So, some sort of noise coming in. I'm clear, am I?
Yes, you are, Sam.
Well, okay, sorry. So now, first of all, he said, well, you are supposed to go and pay at the central office. And what is the tariff? 1,000. Then he said, well, no, you are supposed to pay here. The tariff, 500, without a receipt. So I think it's a very serious issue. I don't know how many incidences of that caliber are still happening. That's my appeal. I appeal this situation to save our face from an international level. We hope the government can come in and clean whatever is happening in the markets. Yes. And then the second one was the case of Zalomis, the murder case being turned into manslaughter or womanslaughter. I don't know what it is. That case, whatever is going to be the outcome, everyone saw. The Zambian people, they saw. The young people, they have seen it. Old people, they have seen it. The government, they have seen it. The opposition political parties, they have seen it. The church have seen the issue. And so, if the government can give a true justice, it will console many, many families and the Zambians at large. If that young man who died in that barbaric war is not going to be given correct justice, what will happen is this. This is going to be a case that will be discussed for years and years to come. In the eyes of us as Zambians, I think this case will remain a murder case, because the man tied his hands. The hands were tied. Everyone saw what happens. So turning it to manslaughter, I am not a lawyer, I am not a judge, but I think we saw what happened. I don't just understand how such a case can be turned into a manslaughter. And another thing, on our mother, I think Our Lady the Salomis, the tendency, the way she behaved when she was incarcerated, really that has offended the sensibility of many people who have been in prison or in cells, wearing trousers, putting on menshi, the long hair. Or I know myself, if when they put you in the cells, for the women, they tell them to cut maybe the hair, or if they have menshi, they have all those things that the women, they put in their heads, I think they tell them to remove them. Now, this case, if it's not going to be given the fair justice, unfortunately, it might be entered in the Guinness of World Record. I'm sorry about the boy who died, but we ask also that the justice can be given to this young man. Today is this man, tomorrow it will be another person. Thank you very much, Mwamba, and thank you for all that you are doing for this program, and thank you for all the Zambian people. Allow me just to greet John Sangwa. I loved your proposal, John Sangwa, to tell the Zambian people to finance you. Fantastic. Finally, we have a politician who can say, Zambians, can you finance me? Let's govern the country together. You will benefit and I will benefit. Thank you so much. Kudos by John Sangwa. Go ahead, call for it. Thank you, Emmanuel Mwamba. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, caller.
Yes, Mwamba. Zephania here. I want just to respond to that gentleman from Namwala.
Yes,
who said that we should appreciate President Hakainde Hichilema for what he has done in the last 4 years. Yes, we are going to appreciate the suffering HH has brought in this country for the last 4 years. We appreciate that we have unbearable load shedding. We appreciate that the minimum price has gone up. We appreciate that every month a price of fuel is going up. We appreciate the CDF they are talking is less than 2.3% of the budget. So when you look at the 2.3% of the budget, meaning there's nothing much the CDF has done, then the issue of CDF, which they always talk about, I've gone around in government schools where teachers are handling 100 to 150 pupils in a class and they are sitting down. Imagine umwana ukupasa number 79 ero umwana leranda nimpasa. I was shocked. Then ukumona if you are passion umwana area 20, 40 out of 100, 35, 25 out of 100. That is the past they are talking about, and this is the free education Zambians we should appreciate, which President Hakainde Hichilema has brought. And he's on record is saying that he's a product of the free education. Now, look at the free education where he went through and the education he has brought today. It's just the name. Vane, tientule rande fishinka. Badala, atuambega votu. Tuambega votu. Not tuambe amasimpe noti kukamba tikamba imomona monga sema we hate. We don't hate the president. Actually, we are giving him the solutions and we are helping the president that he should do much better than what he has done. If he had done a lot, we would have appreciated. And a lot of us, that's why Zambians today, they are quiet. It's not because when they are quiet, they are happy. No, they are waiting for that time. The ballot is waiting. 2026 is waiting so that they vote him out. That's why people are very clear, and you are the only one on this platform who has said that we should appreciate. That should also give you an eye-opener that he is 1 out of 1,000 people who have called on this program, meaning it's 0%, which President Hakainde Hichilema is scoring every day. And the issue of Yazaromes Mwamba, I want just to add my voice again. He or she is just because Vazaromis ECZ chairperson should have resigned, and he should have not even should have come out the way KK came out to say, let the rule take its course. Rule of law, not what is happening today, where our president Hakainde Hichilema, he says that only those who are found with the issue of stolen medical drugs, they are going to have unbearable issues. No, the issue is what is at hand now. How can someone who murdered someone, vamumangirira na waya, kumangirira na waya vamwamba muntu mpaka alira ni masule nkoni, Swanamvere, and she captured herself and she brought it on this world for everyone to see. And that video is still there. And we are hoping that after 2026, whatever they are going to do, whoever is going to form government, this case should be revisited. Look at Vamumbipiri and others, Vachitoteda and so forth. People who were not even involved, they are suffering there. But today, someone, just because the mother, she's the chairperson for ECZ, awe, vane tientulera ndifshinka. Aisha tienti kambevazoona. Let's not talk just because we are coming from Namwala. The truth of the matter is that vadala tapari vamene vachita pata rusumpuko awe. Siwoneka rusumpuko, not even one day. This is what I wanted to say, because he has made us to get upset because he thinks that we don't appreciate. We are not here to speak just for the sake of to make Zambians feel good. We are speaking for the voiceless. Today Zambians are not speaking. So when we speak for everyone. You know, they shouldn't take us for granted just because, you know, they are supporting their own. No, this is not right. We are not happy. We are not happy, and you should know that we are not happy. Zambians are not happy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's take our last caller so that we can then wind up. Thank you for all your contributions. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Mwamba Vamukonge Wera na Kambi. Chira ndefu afu kumi ukuipsha kukuri mwa Mwamba. Huyu permanent secretary. Na alimutamba sana ma video. Nsha ishivya ti permanent secretary. Alingira sana flat out. Munchenge ya mishuku tita campaign bad alando kwevati. The president we have ni Moses wa Mzambia. Ukulondoro lefi visane fyali mu outgoing government. Neshuku abantu bakwete. Alikwata movement, so ama videos akutina temwapo nga mwachikwate limule mulandapo mwamfa ama speeches yako ya pera kanshi mwanse muli apitana, which means MP yabo mfyesho alienda sana notira panono ali temwa kulando ko bali mule mfa mwe bapungwe so na limupera na nikire mwatu mupungwe nshayishwati ni permanent secretary, so kutumwa bombera pakwe batero mule mulandapo bayumfira abantu ama videos yo permanent secretary ofia achita campaign kale amba ina campaign, so ishe mpia shira gomba monzo mwapita kisuma.
Yeah, thank you very much. I will look at that. Colleagues, thank you very much for all your calls. Today it was People's Forum, and we wanted you to air your views, because usually when we have the guest take up a lot of time. Here is a video of expelled MP from Mafinga constituency in Muchinga province. Now, I think his former Isoka East, Robert Chavinga, where he has directed the Inspector General of Police to lock up the Patriotic Front officers. I don't know what powers he has, because earlier the PF had announced that they will conduct countrywide demonstrations because of the state's role in stealing the Patriotic Front. Just listen to him and listen then to the Inspector General of Police as we close.
And to this underscore, I'm instructing the Secretary General, Mr. Mona, number one, to write to the Inspector General of Police. I should see that before I come back to Osaka, this letter must have been delivered to the Inspector General of Police. And also, start some legal proceedings against the people that are using the PF Secretariat with impunity. Because we have seen and have noticed that the Secretariat now, the PF, is like the place where the people want to start using it for their clandestine and wanting to start criminal activities. That's why they want to start planning for demonstrations. Start the demonstrations. We have told you, follow the law. But allowing at the Secretariat, I allowed you people to be using Secretariat because we were in the morning period. And we didn't want to cause.
The Zambia Police Service has noted with grave concern a Facebook post circulating on a page purporting to represent the Patriotic Front, PF, titled, PF to begin countrywide demonstrations until state gives back PF. Demo starting at Robert Chavinga's house. The content of this page has repeatedly carried statements that border on incitement to lawlessness and the commission of public disorder. As Inspector General of Police, I wish to inform the public that the Zambia Police Service is closely monitoring this page. Its administrators and all individuals involved in creating, sharing, and amplifying messages intended to provoke unrest. Any attempt to organize or incite unlawful demonstrations, intimidate individuals, or cause chaos will be treated as a serious criminal matter. Those found in wanting will be arrested and prosecuted in accordance with the laws of Zambia. Let it be made abundantly clear that while the right to peaceful assembly is guaranteed, it must be exercised within the confines of the law. The Zambia Police Service will not tolerate any actions or rhetoric aimed at undermining the public order and the safety of citizens. When law enforcement moves in to act, those responsible should not cry foul, as their conduct has clearly shown intent to cause public disorder. The police will act firmly and decisively. I am therefore directing all commanding officers and operation units across the country to remain on high alert, conduct proactive intelligence-led policing, and take firm but lawful action against any person or group that willfully seeks to incite, organize, or perpetrate violence or disorder. Commanding officers must ensure quick response capabilities to preserve peace and protect law-abiding citizens. Members of the public are further urged to remain calm.
Thank you very much. And you clearly can see Chabinga directing the Inspector General of Police and the Inspector General of Police issuing inflammatory threats against citizens. This is all we had for you until on Sunday when we host one of the presidential candidates in the Patriotic Front. We are hosting Joseph Wheeler Mudolo. Look forward to him. He's caused a sensation on social media. Who is he? Come as we discuss, come as we check him, as he explains who he is, what are his aspirations for the Patriotic Front, what are his aspirations for the country. On Sunday, tomorrow we take a rest, and so God bless you, God bless our country, and shalom, shalom.
You've heard the target already, 3 million tons. When we set this target, a lot of our political competitors say, Wofi, Wobera, Wenye, Boza, Kubea. This year we're tinkering on 1 million tons, knocking on the door. Knocking on the door. Psychological mark, as the minister said. It doesn't come by chance. It's the things we're discussing that we've had to do. Finish, Ambassador. It's the things that we've had to do, we're doing to get to 3 million tons, break the psychological mark, even our detractors, and they're there. Few as they may be, but they make a lot of noise. As the minister says, how can you talk of a failed state? You were running the country, you sunk us into debt, you failed to restructure the debt, you had no credibility. The economy was declining at minus 2.8%. Your friends come and clean up the mess you created. Instead of saying thank you, you're saying, no, Zambia is now a failed state. Are you talking to kids or you're talking to who? Honestly speaking. On average, in the last 4 years, this economy has grown at 5.3% per annum, on average, even with a drought, from minus 2.8% to an average of 5.3%. By any standard, this is a positive move. I don't want to go into other economic factors, measures. Clear. Inflation coming down, exchange rate stability, foreign reserves increasing. But someone really can issue a statement and say the situation now is worse than what it was 4 years. Where do you live?